Hi everyone! Today we're gonna do a great little drawing of the sea and the sky with oil pastels. You could also change this. Maybe instead you're gonna do mountains and sky or a forest in the sky. There's a lot of great things you can do with this, and oil pastels are so fun and so versatile. Let's jump right into it. So the first thing I like to do, since I have two major color sections, is to separate my colors so I can use a lot of them. So I've made a little pile of all of my colors I want for the sky. I chose lots of yellows and pinks and reds. And for the ocean, I chose lots of greens and blues and a little bit of purple. So those are all separated out to make this nice and easy and planned out. So now I'm going to take a color to just plan out what that middle area that looks like that's going to be the sun meeting the sky. So I think at the top of my waves, I think I'm going to do some pretty wild waves. You could do calm, you could do wild. So I'm going to do a big old swirl and curve down, a big old swirl and curve down, a big old swirl and curve down, a big old swirl and curve down. Just get some good drama there. Then I'm going to do little calmer waves in the front, just curve, curve, curve to a point. And then I think I'll do one more layer with this color. Curve and point, curve and point, curve and point, curve and point. Hi Sammy, you wanted to see? I know, it's pretty exciting, buddy, huh? So now the next thing I'm going to do is just take another one of my sea colors. Yeah, you want to watch? And I'm just going to trace just to add another color doing the exact same thing. Curve and curve. And if you accidentally make a little mistake like I just did, that's okay. Sometimes we all go a little off. But the fun thing with oil pastels is they blend and they look so beautiful together that these little mistakes will still look fun. All right, and I'm just gonna keep going with different colors. You could make this a pattern, or you could do your colors random. You could have areas like this where it gets skinny and you either skip it or you just do a little line. Whatever works. This can be a very playful, easy piece. I'm doing it as just a simple line, but maybe you'll pick a section where you're like, ooh, I really like that color there. So I'm gonna make it thick, not just a little line. I'm gonna color it in with that color a bit. I think this green looks so bold next to the red, so it's kind of fun to play with. All right, I think we need some more blue in this. Oh, kitties are chasing some toys. An exciting morning to be drawing an exciting ocean. Bless you. Kitty just sneezed. All right. So I just am finishing up some layers of those colors. I think now would be a great time to start with the sky. Let's make this a little thicker first. And so for the sky, I'm going to start with a circle where I want the sun. So I could start it really low to be very late sunset-y, or start of the day, it could be the opposite, or right in the middle. I think I'm going to go with a pretty high sun. I'm actually just going to fill this in. You could do a little circle or you could fill it in. And then I'm just going to do the same thing where I switch colors. And I'm going to try and make sure I keep this behind the waves. So you can see right now I'm getting pretty close to those first waves. So when I do my next layer, I'm going to make sure I'm not drawing over. I'm like kind of imagining where it would stop. And you can see my red is actually different color red than the paper red. So I'm still going to use some red in this. And now When I feel like I'm comfortable with the shape, I can even start going out with the layers so I can do more with one color at a time. Again, I'm being careful of my waves. I think I'll do lots of yellow. I like the boldness of the yellow. Again, being careful to stop for the waves. This is just about adding layers. And the reason this picture looks so bold, some of you may know this, is that we're using warm and cool colors pretty separately. So warm colors are colors that remind us of fires and suns. They're very hot looking. And hi, Simi. And cool colors remind us of ice and water. And since we're putting those colors in different sections, hi buddy, of the paper, they're gonna stand out so much because your brain goes, wow, those are very different. And that's one of the ways we can make our art look bold, is by showing two things that are very different, separate, so you can see, whoa, those are really different. It's a good little trick if you want your art to stand out. It's to learn about your colors. Learn about your warm colors, learn about your cool colors, learn about what colors are opposites. There we go. Now I could keep adding layers all day until you couldn't see any of the red for the background. Or you can keep it simple like this. I think I'm gonna add a little more blue to my ocean. I don't think it has quite enough. But I'm basically, all the basics are done. At this point, it's just tinkering and improving until you're happy. You could also play with some oil pastel techniques like blending. So if you take your finger, you can actually squish the oil pastels so they blend together a little bit. And that can create some really interesting effects. Cool. So these are the basics. So I'm gonna pause there, even though I could go all day, and I'm gonna grab some black to make some outlines to make this a little extra bold. So I'm gonna trace my ocean start. I'm trying to decide, do I want to trace more than one wave? I think I do. So I got my first layer of waves traced. I think I'm going to add a basic one here too. So black and white are kind of your darkest dark and your lightest light. So you want to make sure you really think when you use them. Ooh, is this going to make my art look bold? Where do I want it to look bold? And then I think I'm going to take white for my opposite and use it in the sky area. So use that brightest bright and use that darkest dark in opposite areas to create very different looks. And there we have it. So this is a great little sky and sea drawing. I hope you have fun. I hope you play with it. I can't wait to see the different ideas you come up with. Maybe you didn't even do the sea and the sky. Maybe you came up with something unique and all your own. Have fun. See you in the next one.